Hello, you beautiful people out there in YouTube land. As you can see, I'm outside getting some fresh air. I mean, it is almost dinner time, but I wanted to come out and do a few things here. It is very windy and it's only like 60 degrees, but it's going to be like that for today and tomorrow. Then it's supposed to rain for like 3 days, and then it's going to be back up in the 80s and 90s. So I needed to get some staining done. My deck needs stained, and I already said I built this fenced in area. It's a pretty good size fenced area. My yard is not fenced. So I built this fenced area for my dogs just so they can go off the deck and you can let them out and they can go running. They have their own area. It's specifically for them. And I did it out of reed, which is almost like bamboo. And I have stained it, which is not an easy task. I don't think bamboo or reed is meant to be stained, but anyways, I did, and it needs done again. I did it 2 years ago when I built the area, so I wanted to get that done tonight, or I'm going to attempt to do it between making dinner and, I don't know, between 9 o'clock, before it gets dark. But anyways, and you're going to hear kids. I'm sorry. I mean, kids are wonderful. The sound of kids are wonderful. But we have the neighbors across the street. I mean, the mother was just yelling about her child's hoo-ha. I'm like, are you kidding me? They are very loud. Kids are going to be kids, right? But when you got to yell about personal business like that, and this is nothing new with this family that lives across the street, they are just very loud. The parents are very loud. It is what it is. So if you hear some inappropriate things, I do apologize. But anyways, what I wanted to show here, and I don't even know if this is going to work, but I'm going to give it a whirl because around my reed fencing for the doggies, I had these solar lights, and what they are, they're just, I had 2 sets that I bought, and I just kind of, how do you say that? I just kind of twined them in. I don't know. They just kind of went in and out of the reed and all the way down. And like I said, it was just, for the dogs, and just kind of gave it that ambiance feel. I don't know. I love my solar lights. I have solar lights. There is a flower bed also in the dogs area. And then they got this big, I call it my Christmas tree that's in there. And they love that tree. And I have a bunch of solar lights in the flower bed area. So it's really lit up at night too when they go outside. So I had these that go in and out of the fenced reed area. And I did not bring the solar lights in at all because the way that I had it in the fence, it takes a lot to get it out of the fence. So when I bought these, I just left them in there. Well, they quit working. And they weren't cheap. I mean, they weren't really expensive, but they weren't cheap either. And you got to really take care of your solar lights. I mean, I have a lot in my front yard. I just really love my solar lights. I have 2 umbrellas, and they have solar lights in them. I have a 3-seater swing with a top on it, and it's got solar lights. I'm just a solar light nut. But the thing is I don't take them in like I should and put them away, and you really should, because what happens is you get this film, they get weathered. And also, And we're going to attempt to save these. They're not working anymore. I don't know if this technique is going to work. I was told that a lot of times it does, so we're going to attempt to do that. And another thing about solar lights, some people might not know this, but they do have a battery inside. So if your solar light, if you don't see this right here, and your solar light might stop working, don't throw them away yet. These are a little rusted. I mean, you should probably at the end of the year, I mean, I don't know. In the wintertime, I like taking my solar light, or I like leaving my solar lights out, because even in the winter, I want my solar lights to come on, right? See, the neighbors, you just hear the parents cussing up a storm. I mean, come on now. Seriously. And it's just these one neighbors across the street. They're just insane. So anyways, I've never taken this one apart. But there you go. You do have this battery. I've never seen that kind of battery before. I don't know. Is this just a regular? It is. I think. Whoops. Is that just a AA battery? Okay. It looks like it's just a regular AA battery. But most of your other solar lights that you get that are just, a single, they will have just a AA, or they might have AAA batteries. I could take one out here to show you of one of my other solar lights, and you can replace these. And I'm going to replace this with just a regular AA battery too, as well, to make sure this will work if we can get the top of this clean. I'm going to just leave this out for now. And I'm going to put these little screws back in because I will lose them. If we can't get this cleaned up, then there's no reason to even put a battery back in here. But that's the first thing to check. If if it's not clouded up white like that, and you have, solar lights that are not working, just your stake solar lights, or even these string ones, check the battery, or replace the battery. I'm sorry, go ahead and replace that battery inside, because you'll be surprised that's all it needs is another battery inside, because they do, take a battery as well. And I have chipped my nails and everything else, because I do have another situation with one strand of these solar lights that somehow, when I was weed eating around my fenced area, I cut one of my solar lights, and I was trying to see if I could fix it, and I'm still going to do that, but I'm going to do it off camera. Because I don't know if I can, I need 2 strands of these to go all the way down my fence, the way that I had it. So, if I can't fix it, then I'm just going to buy 2 different ones. I have a lot of fairy solar lights as well. So, anyways, we are going to try to get this back to the original, because the sun cannot filter through this at all. So battery or no battery, this is not going to work. I'm going to put this on pause a minute and see if these children across the street might calm down a little bit. It's not going to happen, but okay, they're not going to calm down, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish it. Like I said, I have no problem. I mean, I'm used to grandkids and everything else, but these children, I am serious. You cannot. I have a hammock, and I have my swing, and sometimes I just like to sit out, and, I have a little fire thing here. It's a chimenea, something like that. Anyways, I like to sit out and kind of relax or read a book. You can't even do that. These kids nonstop screaming, yelling, and the kids aren't even that bad. The parents are worse. I mean, it is nonstop screaming and yelling at these kids, but it's what comes out of the parents' mouth that is pretty nasty. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just finish, see if this even works. Because if it doesn't, then there's no point in even trying to do anything with these. So the first thing, there's different ways that you can try to clean these, but they say to first, one of the ways is to try nail polish remover on this. So that's what we're going to try. So I got some nail polish remover. And I just got a paper towel. And I hope you guys can see, because I can't see where the camera is. It is so windy. So we're just going to go over that. Wow. Take that white stuff off. I'm shocked. It's working. Alrighty. Okay, so there's that one. Because there's no way sun would go through that. And now we're going to do this one too. You can see all that. And I tried to use soap and water, Dawn, and it didn't work at all. And this worked great. It did work. And I think these quit working sometime during, oh goodness, sometime, I would say right before Christmas they stopped working completely. And it took that right off. Okay. I should have took a picture of that. Well, I will. So I'm going to let that, well, I'm going to dry it off a little bit because we're not done. We're going to do something to help protect that. And I think what I'm going to do, because I still like keeping these out in the winter. I still like having that light on. All right. Now this one, and they move. This one I have on the front. I start this one out on the front, and I don't know if I already said it. I got the other string is laying on the ground. I don't have them both up here. This one is in the back, and I took the stake off of this one, and I have this on top of the fence because I didn't get enough sunlight back there. The way that the sun just is, I just wasn't getting enough sunlight on this one. Doggies. I just wasn't getting enough sunlight. So I took the stake off of this, and I just lay it on top of my fence, and I would just position this to where the sun was. But on the front of my where I would start, this would fit great. And the neighbors, good Lord, I am so sorry. I mean, as you can just, So anyways, as you can see, it took that white off. So now you can either use, which I did not have, if you have a spray bottle of spray bottle. If you have a spray can of a clear coat paint, just a clear, you can spray that, and this is supposed to help protect it, or so that it also helps the sun go through it. Or you can use nail polish top coat, and that's what I have, so that's what I'm going to use. I just cheap, and I'm going to put that on here. And the sun is popping out here and there, and I still have one of these to try to fix, but the other one, what I'm going to do is after this dries, I'm going to stick it in the ground where the sun is, even though it's late, and see if we can get I'm not going to use this. As a matter of fact, this nail polish, this top coat, I'm going to use this strictly for solar lights to do this with, if this works. If not, I'm just not going to use it again. I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason to do this. Maybe I should have got a bigger, like, little paintbrush. I don't know. It would be easier if I would have had the paint. I really don't know what that's for. I mean, it came out pretty good. Oops. So we're going to do this one too. It's hard to do with this little tiny brush. Oh, the neighbors are quiet now. Not doing this the greatest. Alrighty, good enough. So we're just going to let that dry. It's very windy, so it shouldn't take long. And I am going to switch the batteries on both. And like I said, in the wintertime on my solar lights, I think what I'm going to do is put like a clear plastic. I don't know if the sun can get through. It should. Like over these so that doesn't happen again. Oh, I really took my nail polish off that time. But anyways, now I'm just wondering if I should have left the nail polish off, because hopefully the sun will go through that. They looked fine. I don't know. We'll see how it works, because that nail polish remover, if it doesn't work because of that, I can use the nail polish remover again, right? So we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and hopefully, like I said, we don't have much sun here. I'm going to work on fixing the one that was cut, and I'm going to let the other one hopefully get some sun here if the sun comes up again, and let's see if these work again. And I'll just be splicing some videos together. Alrighty, it is dark out, and as you can see, the trick worked. This is only one strand, and I didn't get much sunlight. It was still very cloudy, So these are not charged up and they're not very bright like they normally are. But that hack that we did absolutely worked. They are working again. These are normally a lot brighter, so like I said, we didn't get much sunlight because it was late when I did this first part of the video, and still really cloudy, and we had overcast weather, and I wasn't sure if it was gonna work. Again, these quit working right before Christmas because of that white haze that you've seen. And the other strand I have in the house, I haven't worked on it yet, but I'm sure I looked at it. I think I can get those working again. If not, then I'm just going to go buy two other strands. These ones I ordered off of Amazon, but I'll just buy two different strands, or I'll use, I have the fairy, I got some, they're fairy lights. They're the string solar lights. Anyways, it's kind of chilly out. I just happened to, it's late at night, and I just happened to be walking by, and I thought, I'm just going to look out and see if these were laying out here, and I thought, I'm going to just check for the heck of it and see if they happen to be, lit up. I don't know. So I did, and it's like, wow, it really worked. So that technique that I showed you actually works for solar lights that you think might be bad with that, that really white, it looks almost like corroded and whatever. And you think your solar lights aren't working anymore. First, change the battery if it doesn't have that white ick cloud, whatever it is. Change the battery on it, and I did, as you can see, put fresh batteries in it. And well, actually, I did put a fresh battery in it. I did that off camera when I went inside. I'm actually standing out here freezing. It is really cold. But when I went inside, and after I got dinner together, I went ahead and put a fresh battery in these, and then in this one, and then I brought it back out and put it back, and there was just a tad bit of sun peeking through here and there, not much. So again, these are normally a lot brighter than this, but it did work. So that technique did work. So I'm pretty happy about that. So just a little DIY technique for your solar lights. If you think, because I can't tell you how many times I have thrown away my solar lights, either the single stake solar lights that I've thought went bad, they'll either before I knew that they had those batteries in there, or they got the white cloud like you've seen. But the single lights, they're not that expensive. I do have some really expensive ones that I have around my house. I think you know what I'm talking about. Then they have the inexpensive ones. But these strands, they can get costly. And I've thrown away a lot of these, that I thought were bad. And as you can see, two different ways that you can try to kind of save you some money so you don't have to repurchase. So we're gonna see if I can get the second strand. I'm not gonna do a video or anything. If I can get that to work, yay. If not, I'll just I'll still use these for something, but I'll just probably order on Amazon. Either that or I'll get the fairy lights out. The fairy lights just don't seem to be as bright as these ones were, because the lights, they're not as big as these are right here. So anyways, just another little hack I just out of the blue wanted to do. But I'm going to get inside because I am freezing. I just kind of wanted to show, I don't know, a little hack on saving your solar lights. And just kind of wanted to see if the hack worked. It did. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I'm going to do some little hacks, and they might be an epic fail. They might not work at all. This one did. So we'll just catch you again on the next video.